Today, we expose the 8 butter brands UK consumers must avoid at all costs. Because butter brands these days are full of contaminated batches and misleading natural labels hiding trans fats and preservatives that can cause serious health problems, especially heart complications. The prices are climbing, recipes are shifting, and the watchdogs that should protect you are riddled with loopholes. We dug deep into every butter brand and analysed their ingredients, labelling transparency, contamination/safety, supply chain shortcuts, and consumer manipulation in marketing. And the results are shocking. Number 1. Kerrygold, pure Irish butter with a chemical stain. Kerrygold has long been the gold standard. Grass-fed Irish cows, rich yellow colour, and a flavour chefs love. But in 2023, a scandal cracked its golden image wide open. Independent tests found that Kerrygold's foil wrappers contained PFAS chemicals, so-called forever chemicals linked to cancer and hormone disruption. The contamination was so serious that some US states banned sales until new packaging was introduced. A lawsuit alleged the butter was adulterated, and regulators agreed it was plausible consumers were misled. Think about that. A brand marketed as pure Irish butter was literally wrapped in toxic chemicals. Or newer, Kerrygold's parent company scrambled to redesign the wrappers, but the damage to trust was already done. And while the core block butter is real cream, the spreadable line repeats the same sin as others, diluted with 20% rapeseed oil and artificial colouring to mimic the golden hue. Consumers pay up to £3 for a 250-gram pack, expecting untainted quality. But between oil blends, inflated pricing, and chemical-laced packaging, Kerrygold is a reminder that no brand is too premium to cut corners. It still sells millions worldwide, but if your butter comes wrapped in toxins, can you really call it pure?
Number 2. Country Life, the patriotic illusion.
You'll never put a better bit of butter on your knife. That jingle made Country Life iconic in Britain. Ads with John Lydon of the Sex Pistols even tied punk rebellion to butter patriotism. But behind the Union Jack and rolling fields is a different story. Yes, the block butter is standard dairy, but the spreadable? Once again, 50% butter, 25% oil, and the rest water. Half of what you're paying for isn't from a cow at all. And then there's the recall. In 2008, Country Life Spreadable had to be pulled from shelves after pieces of plastic were found in tubs. The contamination came from broken machinery, tiny blue fragments lurking in what people thought was safe butter. Country Life plays heavily on its 100% British milk claim. True enough. But since 2019, profits flow not to British farmers but to Saputo, a Canadian multinational. The Union Jack packaging may tug your heartstrings, but the money goes abroad. Taste tests show Country Life performs decently, but no better than cheaper supermarket brands. The price, however, remains inflated. Consumers pay for the flag and the nostalgia, not for unique quality. In short, Country Life leverages patriotism and tradition while quietly watering down its product, and once literally filling tubs with plastic.
Number 3. Waitrose Essential.
Waitrose has a reputation for quality. If any supermarket brand was supposed to be safe, it was this one. The Essential Waitrose butter was marketed as clean, straightforward, and dependable, and for years it lived up to that promise. But in April 2024, everything changed. Waitrose was forced into a nationwide recall when inspectors discovered pieces of blue cloth and plastic inside 500-gram blocks of its salted butter. The Food Standards Agency issued an urgent "Do Not Eat" warning. Consumers were told the product was unsafe, carrying a choking hazard. Think about the scale of that failure. Butter is one of the simplest foods to produce, yet fragments from cleaning rags and gloves slipped through the line and ended up in fridges across Britain. A brand built on premium trust had literally packaged rubbish into its butter. Waitrose acted quickly, apologised and offered refunds. No injuries were reported, but the damage was done. The incident was splashed across national media, headlines screaming about dangerous foreign objects in a household staple. And while Waitrose's block butter is usually pure cream and salt, this recall proved that even the most expensive supermarkets are not immune to lapses. The price premium doesn't protect you from negligence. When blue cloth ends up in your food, it's not just contamination, it's betrayal.
Number 4. Anchor. From New Zealand's pride to oil in a tub, Anchor built its empire on lush New Zealand pastures, pure cream, and a heritage that felt honest. But today in the UK, the picture is different. Anchor Spreadable is a 50-50 butter and oil blend. Roughly half is real butter, the rest is rapeseed oil, water, and colouring. In fact, one failed experiment, the squeezy butter launched in 2019, turned out to be 67% oil, essentially margarine in disguise. Consumers ridiculed it, and the product quietly disappeared. Yet the deception lingers. The tub still shouts Anchor Butter across the front, trading on nostalgia, while only a careful glance reveals the truth. The shortcuts don't stop there. Anchor downsized its packs to 200 grams, doubling the price per kilo compared to supermarket own-label brands. And despite the marketing promises of creamy taste, blind taste tests rank it mediocre at best. Neutral, a little greasy, reviewers said. Anchor markets itself as farmer-owned, wholesome and patriotic, but the butter you're spreading is often less than half cow's cream. Behind the Union Jack branding is a product not much different from the cheapest spreads on the shelf, only twice the price. Number 5. Lurpak, the great butter dilution. For decades, Lurpak was the crown jewel of Danish butter. Foil-wrapped, creamy, dependable. But look closer at its most popular product, the spreadable tub, and the cracks begin to show. Once upon a time, Lurpak Spreadable contained over 85% real butter. Today, that figure has plummeted to just 63.7%, with the rest replaced by rapeseed oil and water. Almost 40% of what you're buying isn't butter at all. The packaging plays tricks too. Lurpak dominates the label in bold letters, while the truth, blend of butter and rapeseed oil, sits in fine print. Technically legal, morally questionable. And here's the kicker. You're still paying a premium. In 2022, during the cost of living crisis, a single pack of Lurpak reached £6 in supermarkets, with some stores even fitting security tags to stop theft. Imagine that. Butter so expensive it had to be locked up. Meanwhile, the company quietly shrank its 250-gram blocks down to 200 grams, a stealth price hike known as shrinkflation. No contamination recalls have hit Lurpak, but the manipulation is financial. You're paying butter prices for oil and water, dressed up in silver foil. Social media didn't hold back. Critics called it the greatest lie of our generation in dairy. So next time you see that shiny pack, remember, the luxury image is just that, image. The reality is diluted. Number 6. I can't believe it's not butter, because it isn't. The name says it all, but the deception goes deeper. I can't believe it's not butter isn't butter at all. It's a margarine-style spread made from vegetable oils, additives, flavourings and emulsifiers. No milk fat, no cream, nothing that qualifies as butter under UK law. So why is it on this list? Because despite being entirely artificial, the brand's marketing has for years piggybacked on butter's image. Bright yellow tubs, soft creamy texture, and advertising that frames it as a healthier choice. But healthier for who? The product often contains palm oil, linked to deforestation and habitat destruction. It has gone through multiple recipe changes, sometimes adding dairy, sometimes pulling it out, leaving consumers confused and betrayed. For people allergic to milk, those flip-flops have been dangerous. At times it was vegan-friendly, then suddenly it wasn't, then it switched again. For the average shopper, keeping track of its formula is impossible. And yet, the name itself still trades on butter's reputation. "I can't believe it's not butter" is built on a trick, convincing you it's close enough to the real thing when, in truth, it's chemically engineered to mimic the look and spreadability. This is not butter. It never was. It never will be. Number 7. Utterly butterly, margarine dressed as dairy. If "I can't believe it's not butter" was the first offender, Utterly Butterly is its British cousin. Also owned by Saputo, the same multinational behind Country Life, Utterly Butterly is another oil-heavy spread sold as a fun, budget alternative. But here's the problem. The brand leans on the word butter in its name, splashes British farm imagery across its tubs, and promotes itself with cheerful ads suggesting wholesome dairy goodness. The truth? It's mostly vegetable oil. Palm oil, rapeseed oil, water, colouring and salt make up the bulk of the recipe. Real butter is barely present, if at all. This isn't a dairy product in the traditional sense. It's margarine with a marketing mask. Even worse, Saputo has been criticised for quietly tweaking fat levels and formulations to save costs, while still framing Utterly Butterly as a lighter choice. But lighter doesn't mean better. It means you're spreading processed oils on your toast while believing you're eating something close to butter. And the price? Often just slightly under supermarket own-label butters, despite being cheaper to produce. You're paying for branding, not quality. Utterly Butterly is a masterclass in consumer manipulation, using humour, nostalgia and nameplay to disguise the fact that it's not butter at all. Number 8. Flora, the shapeshifter. Finally, we come to Flora. Once marketed as the heart-healthy alternative to butter, Flora has been reformulated more times than most people can count. At various points, it has been vegan, then not vegan, then vegan again. It's been promoted as free from palm oil, only to quietly bring palm oil back in. Each shift leaves a trail of confused and angry consumers. And while the branding talks about naturalness and plant power, the ingredient lists often tell another story. Palm oil, emulsifiers, stabilizers, and flavorings designed to mimic the richness of dairy. Flora's constant identity crisis erodes trust. One month, it's a green tub aimed at vegans. The next, it sneaks in dairy derivatives. The result is not only misleading, but risky for people with allergies. Environmental groups have also slammed the brand for palm oil sourcing, pointing to rainforest destruction and climate impact. Yet, the packaging often boasts sustainability slogans that sound good on paper but don't match reality. Flora isn't just inconsistent, it's unstable. And when a brand can't even decide what it is, why should you trust it to sit on your family's table? Hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more videos like this.